Here you've got the Mastercut BS046G semi-auto bandsaw. This is a double miter machine, so you can cut 60° one way, 45° the other way. And I'm going to take you through a few of the features on this machine. This saw has the ability to do 460mm wide by 330mm high. Now, it's a nice solid saw and great for structural, so you can do your angles and opposing angles. And the good thing about having a double miter saw is that you don't have to take the job out and turn it around and cut. So you can cut the one side of it, move the head of the machine, and then cut the other side of your material without having to double handle it. Here you have the blade tensioning device. You can see that it's got a switch on it, so it'll always tension to the correct amount of tension. Otherwise, it's not going to make the switch and it won't allow the machine to work. It's a good thing because if you're running the blade and for whatever reason the tension's not there, it'll stop. There's your guide arm, and your guide arm has both bearings and a carbide blade insert. Your coolant hose, you've also got a work light over there. That's your motor and your gearbox. That over there, those two switches, that's for your minimum and maximum stroke. So if you're cutting jobs that are smaller, you don't want the frame going all the way up to the top of the stroke then down. So that will be the place where you adjust it so it stops just above the job. On the cutting table, you've got machined in slots. So if you are cutting the standard 90, 45, 60, you're not going to cut into the table. But if you do cut into the table, that plate is sacrificial, so you can actually just unbolt it, take it off and replace it. Your vise is on a slideway. So what that does is when you've got an opposing miter to cut, you just slide the vise out of the way so it doesn't get cut by the saw blade. Now this is a full stroke cylinder. So what that means is at a push of a button, that vise will move all the way in, all the way out. So the only thing that you have to do is push a button to make that work. There you've got your control panel. That over there, this is your feeds for your frame. So one adjusts the speed that it comes down, the other one adjusts the actual pressure that is pushing on the job when cutting. Simply laid out control panel. You just got your button to press up and down of the frame because the frame is hydraulic. So that's just by a push of a button. At the rear of the machine, that over there is a table. You've got rollers that goes in here, here, and over here. They just haven't been put on the table, but that comes standard with it, that roller table at the back. That over there, we're just testing it, and that's just some wood that we cut with. That's your maximum position there, just to stop the frame. Now you have that interlock switch there, and that if you have the rear of the frame taken off, that's not going to work. So when you change a blade, you've got to put the cover back on, otherwise it's a hazard. So that there's just a safety switch to avoid not having the cover closed. This over here, that's a handle to lock the frame. And then over there is where you see your angle increment, what angle the saw frame is at. And that's the Mastercut BS046G semi-automatic bandsaw.